If you're over 45 and you feel like the world is slowly sliding out of focus, small print fuzzing, screens tiring your eyes, or that annoying habit of squinting at menus, I want you to know two things right away. You are not broken, and glasses are not a cure. They're a tool. A very useful tool, but a tool. Glasses correct optics. They don't fix the living parts of your visual system that can adapt and get stronger. Let me be blunt. In many modern lives we've trained our eyes to take the easy way out. We stare at near screens for hours, we let lenses do the work, and day by day the muscles that actively focus and coordinate your vision get less practice. Think of glasses like a crutch you lean on. They help you walk, but if you never use your leg muscles, weakness follows. That's the idea I call the crutch, and it's the reason so many people tell me they feel more dependent on stronger prescriptions year after year. There's a second, quieter enemy at work. What I call adaptive spasm, the stubborn, low-grade holding pattern your focusing system falls into when you stare at near objects for long stretches. Your ciliary muscle stays partially contracted, your focusing reflex gets stuck at a near setting, and when you look up at distance everything looks a little soft. Clinically this shows up as eye strain, headaches, and that uncomfortable sense of, my eyes just won't relax. Modern prolonged near work and screen time are strongly associated with this kind of accommodative fatigue and spasm. Here's the good news. Your visual system is not a fixed camera. The adult brain and the visual pathways retain plasticity, they can be trained. Decades of modern neuroscience show the adult visual system can change in response to targeted training. We call this neuroplasticity, and that's exactly what we'll be tapping into. That doesn't mean miracles overnight, but it does mean measurable improvement is possible when the right exercises are applied consistently. So here's my promise for the next few minutes. I'm going to show you a short, safe, science-informed protocol that wakes up the active parts of your vision system, the muscles that focus, the ciliary system, and the eye movement apparatus that stabilizes and tracks. These are practical exercises you can do at home to reduce strain and improve comfort and functional near-distance switching. A few caveats first. This is not a guaranteed cure for every eye disease. Certain structural issues, like advanced cataract or some forms of macular degeneration, have different solutions. But if your main problems are presbyopic blur, screen-related strain, and that sense of weakening focus, these steps are very likely to help you feel better and function better. Finally, I'll teach you 5 simple, low-risk exercises and explain the physiology behind each one. Not mysticism, not tricks. Just practical ways to re-engage the muscles and neural circuits that do the real work of focusing. Follow along, but please, don't force anything. No pressing on eyeballs, no straining to read. Gentle, steady practice is the key. If you have sudden vision loss, double vision, or severe pain, seek urgent medical care. Full disclaimer at video end. To understand why vision often fades with age, we need to zoom inside the eye. Not in a mystical way, but in a mechanical and biological way. Because your vision is not just seeing. It's movement, muscle activity, nerve signaling, and cellular health working together. Let's start with one of the most important players, the ciliary muscles. These are tiny circular muscles that surround your natural lens. Their job is simple but critical. When they contract, your lens becomes rounder to focus up close. When they relax, your lens flattens so you can see far away. Every time you shift from your phone to across the room, from book to television, from dashboard to road, your ciliary muscles are actively changing shape. That's exercise. That's movement. And like any muscle system in the body, what moves stays strong, and what barely moves starts to weaken. Now let's talk about the macula, a small but powerful region in the center of your retina. This is where fine detail vision lives, reading, faces, driving, recognizing expression. The macula is packed with light-sensing cells that constantly convert photons into electrical signals for your brain. Here's the key idea. The macula doesn't operate in isolation. It depends on healthy blood flow, antioxidant protection, and efficient nerve signaling. If that internal environment becomes inflamed or oxidatively stressed, visual signal quality drops, not always suddenly, but gradually, quietly. So when people describe a fading world, softer edges, washed out contrast, slower focusing, it usually comes from two overlapping processes. Process number 1. Muscle atrophy and stiffness. Prolonged near work dramatically reduces the range of focusing movement your eyes perform each day. Over time, the ciliary muscles lose flexibility, and the nervous system begins to treat near focus as the default state. This doesn't mean the muscles disappear. It means they become deconditioned, like a shoulder that hasn't been lifted overhead in years. Still there, still alive, just undertrained. Process number 2. Oxidative stress. Your eyes are among the most metabolically active tissues in your body. They're constantly exposed to light and oxygen, two ingredients that naturally generate free radicals. Over decades, this oxidative load can damage lipids, proteins, and cellular membranes inside the retina and optic nerve. When oxidative stress rises faster than the eye's antioxidant defenses can handle, the result is lower signal clarity. Think of it as static on a radio channel. The music is still there, but the noise increases. Here's the encouraging part. Research in visual neuroscience shows that the adult visual system retains adaptability. With targeted visual tasks, neural response strength, coordination, and efficiency can improve. That's neuroplasticity, and it's the foundation of vision therapy and perceptual training. At the same time, nutritional research consistently shows that certain antioxidants and sulfur-containing compounds support retinal cells and glutathione production, the eye's internal detox and protection system. In other words, function depends on both training and biochemical support. So if we summarize the fading vision puzzle in one sentence, modern life reduces natural eye movement, while decades of oxidative exposure increase cellular stress. Muscles stiffen. Signals weaken. And vision feels less reliable. Which leads to a very empowering conclusion. If lack of movement contributes to decline, then restoring movement can drive improvement. And if oxidative stress contributes to decline, then supporting antioxidant defenses becomes part of the solution. That's exactly what we're about to do. First, we'll address the mechanical side, the muscles and movement patterns. Then later, we'll talk about the internal environment, how to support the retina and optic nerve at the cellular level. Let's start with the practical part. The exercises that reintroduce healthy motion into a system that has been locked into one position for far too long. Note: this section maintains general, widely accepted concepts from ophthalmology, visual neuroscience, and nutritional biochemistry. No disease claims or guaranteed outcomes are implied. Alright, now we move from theory to action. I'll guide you through the full 2020 protocol. 5 safe, targeted exercises that reintroduce natural motion to your focusing system, retrain the eyes to switch smoothly between near and far, improve tracking, and restore healthy blinking. Do this sequence once a day, about 8 minutes total, or split it into 2 shorter sessions, morning and evening. If you're new to eye work, start gently, only a little tension, never pain. Quick safety rules before we begin. Sit upright, breathe evenly, don't press on your eyeballs, stop if you feel sharp pain, and consult your eye doctor if you have sudden changes in vision, flashes, or severe pain. We start with relaxation, palming, so the system can reset. Then we train the ciliary muscle, near-far, coordinate the extraocular muscles, figure 8, break fixed screen patterns, diagonal saccades, and finish with restoration, blinking and controlled light exposure to support lubrication and light adaptation. Exercise 1. Palming, 2 minutes. Palming is a relaxation technique that calms ocular tension and resets the visual system's resting tone. It's not magic, it's a brief period of warmth, darkness, and diaphragmatic breathing that reduces sympathetic tension around the eyes and encourages natural blinking and tear spread. How to do it? 1. Sit comfortably with elbows on a table. 2. Rub your palms briskly for 8 to 10 seconds to create warmth. 3. Gently cup your palms over your closed eyes. No pressure on the eyeballs. Fingers resting on the forehead, heel of palm on the cheekbones. 4. Breathe slowly in and out for 90 to 120 seconds, letting your shoulders relax. 5. Slowly remove your hands and blink slowly 3 to 5 times. Repeat once if you feel tightness. Why it helps? Palming reduces immediate tension and prepares the ciliary muscle to move freely. It's a soft reset before active training. Exercise 2. The near-far shift. 3 minutes total. 6 to 8 cycles. This is the single most direct way to train the ciliary muscle and improve accommodative flexibility. Think of it like interval training for your lens. How to do it? 1. Choose a target at near, about 12 to 18 inches away, a word on paper or a small object. 2. Choose a distant target, ideally in GT, 10 feet, or look out a window to a distant object. 3. Look at the near object for 10 seconds, focusing on clarity. 4. Then shift to the distant object and hold for 10 seconds, letting the eyes relax and notice clarity. 5. Repeat this near right pointing arrow far cycle 6 to 8 times. Breathe calmly. Let your gaze move smoothly. If your distance looks soft at first, don't squint, allow the eye to relax and refocus naturally. Why it helps? This alternation actively lengthens and shortens the focus range, increasing accommodative amplitude and reducing the tendency to default to near focus. Exercise 3. Figure 8 tracing, 1.5 minutes per direction. This trains the extraocular muscles that control eye alignment and smooth tracking, excellent for reducing fatigue and improving eye-hand coordination. How to do it? 1. Imagine a large horizontal figure 8, infinity, about 6 to 10 feet in front of you. 2. Keeping your head still, trace the figure 8 slowly with your eyes for 45 seconds in one direction. 3. Rest 15 seconds. 4. Trace the figure 8 in the opposite direction for 45 seconds. 5. Repeat once more if comfortable. Keep the movement smooth, no jerky motions. Why it helps? Figure 8 increases coordination between the 6 extraocular muscles, improving gaze stability and reducing the sense of wandering or double vision. Exercise 4. Diagonal Saccades, 60 to 90 seconds. This is a fast, rhythm-breaking drill that undoes the screen stare pattern and improves saccadic accuracy. The quick jumps your eyes make when scanning a scene or reading. How to do it? 1. Place 2 small targets on a wall in a diagonal line, top left and bottom right about 4 to 6 feet away. 2. With your head still, look quickly from one target to the other, then back. That's 1 saccade. 3. Perform a quick set of 20 to 30 saccades at a comfortable, brisk pace, about 1 per second. 4. Rest 20 seconds. Repeat a second set if comfortable. Keep blinks natural between sets. Why it helps? Faster, accurate saccades make reading and scanning less effortful and retrain the brain's oculomotor control, reducing fatigue and improving visual sampling. Exercise 5. Blinking in gentle light, 2 minutes. We finish by restoring surface health and light adaptation. Blinking re-spreads the tear film. Gentle controlled light exposure, with closed eyelids only, can help reset photoreceptor responsiveness safely. How to do it? A. Blinking drill. Blink slowly and completely 10 times. Close gently, squeeze lightly for 0.5s, open, repeat. Rest 10 seconds and repeat the 10 blinks. B. Gentle light exposure. Closed eye sunning, facing indirect natural light. Do not stare at the sun. Keep your eyes closed and let soft ambient light warm the lids for 30 to 60 seconds. Like a gentle dose of daylight through closed lids. This is not direct sun staring. If you have photosensitivity, recent retinal surgery, or a condition that increases light sensitivity, skip the light step and stick to blinking and lubrication. Why it helps? Blinking restores the tear film, reduces evaporative dryness, and protects optics, an important final step after training. Controlled light, through closed lids, helps the visual system recalibrate to natural luminance without exposing the retina to harmful UV. Here's a simple timing you can follow. Palming 2 minutes, right pointing arrow near far, 3 minutes, right pointing arrow, figure 8, 3 minutes. Both directions. Right pointing arrow, diagonal, saccades 1 to 1.5 minutes, right pointing arrow, blinking light 1 to 2 minutes. Total approximately equals 8 to 11 minutes. Do this once daily, or split into morning and evening 4 to 6 minute rounds. Track your symptoms, near comfort, reduced squinting, less blur, over weeks. Many studies and clinical programs report symptom improvement and greater accommodative facility. But remember, this is about function and comfort more than guaranteed elimination of refractive error. Common beginner tips. 1. If you have reading glasses, remove them for the near, far, and figure 8 sets so your natural focusing works. 2. Keep head still. Move only your eyes. 3. Do not force clarity. Wait for the eye to find it. 4. If you have high refractive error or recent eye surgery, check with your ophthalmologist before starting. And remember, the evidence supports reduced symptoms and improved function, though not every claim online about permanently curing glasses dependence is backed by high-quality trials. Be realistic, be consistent, and record progress. Clinical and academic work suggests accommodative training and oculomotor therapy can increase accommodative amplitude, improve saccadic metrics, and reduce eye strain symptoms in many people, especially when delivered consistently. But the strongest claims, permanent reversal of refractive errors, are not supported by high-quality evidence. Our goal here is practical functional improvement, more comfortable vision, less squinting, and a clearer daily experience. If you're ready, let's do one gentle round together now. I'll count you through each step. Ready? Palming first. If you experience persistent double vision, sudden loss of vision, flashing lights, severe pain, or new eye droop, stop exercises and seek urgent ophthalmic care. These exercises are intended for symptom relief and functional improvement. They do not replace professional diagnosis or treatment. You've just trained the hardware of your visual system, the muscles, the movement patterns, and the neural coordination. That alone can make a meaningful difference in comfort and functional clarity. But there's a second half to the vision equation that most people never address. Inside your retina and optic nerve are billions of living cells performing chemical reactions every second. These cells require raw materials, antioxidants, sulfur donors, and mitochondrial support to maintain signal clarity and repair everyday wear and tear. Here's an important truth. Exercise can strengthen muscles, but exercises alone cannot repair damaged cellular machinery. That requires biochemical building blocks. Over decades, oxidative stress gradually accumulates in ocular tissues. Light exposure, oxygen metabolism, and environmental toxins all generate free radicals. When antioxidant defenses fall behind, the retina and optic nerve become less efficient at transmitting clean signals. This is why even people who do eye exercises sometimes hit a plateau. The muscles are improving, but the internal environment is still inflamed, oxidized, and undernourished. Let me be very clear and responsible here. No supplement is a magic cure. But decades of nutritional biochemistry research show that certain compounds play key protective and supportive roles in retinal health. 3 of the most studied vision support nutrients are astaxanthin, quercetin, and N-acetylcysteine, often called NAC. Astaxanthin is a carotenoid antioxidant known for its ability to cross the blood-retina barrier. It helps quench free radicals inside retinal tissue and supports mitochondrial efficiency, meaning better energy production inside photoreceptors. Quercetin is a powerful plant flavonoid that modulates inflammatory signaling and helps protect delicate neural tissue from oxidative overload. N-acetylcysteine is a direct precursor to glutathione, the body's master antioxidant. Glutathione is central to cellular detoxification and repair, including inside the eye. Some researchers refer to nutrients like these as supporting the activation of adult cellular repair pathways, essentially giving aging cells the raw materials they need to maintain and restore themselves. Now, here's the practical challenge. The doses used in clinical research are extremely difficult to obtain from food alone. You would need large daily quantities of specific seafood, vegetables, and specialty plants, every single day, for months. That's why many clinicians who work in functional and integrative eye care choose high-quality, clinically dosed vision formulas that combine these exact nutrients in bioavailable forms. I personally look for formulas that focus on retinal antioxidants, mitochondrial support, and glutathione precursors, not megadoses of random vitamins. If you'd like to explore the same type of advanced vision nutrition I recommend in my practice, I placed a resource link in the description below that explains the formulation, ingredients, and research in detail. Think of it this way: the exercises you just learned send a signal to your visual system. Adapt and strengthen. Proper nutrition supplies the materials that make adaptation possible. Hardware plus software. Training plus fuel. That combination consistently produces better results than either approach alone. And that leads us to the final piece: how to put this all together into a simple daily routine that fits real life. Supplements are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Consult your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you take medications or have medical conditions. You've just learned the full picture: why vision softens with age, how simple mechanics and biochemistry interact, and a compact, evidence-informed way to push back. Let me quickly recap the practical routine so you can leave this video with a clear, doable plan. Daily practice: 8 to 11 minutes. Palming right pointing arrow near far shifts right pointing arrow figure 8 right pointing arrow diagonal saccades right pointing arrow blinking, gentle daylight. Do this once a day or split into 2 short sessions. Aim for gentle, consistent practice rather than hard forcing. Over time you'll notice less squinting, smoother focus switching, and less eye fatigue. Daily habits to multiply gains. Use the 20-20-20 rule during screen work. Every 20 minutes look at something 20 feet away for 20 seconds. Blink regularly. Reduce harsh overhead glare. And when reading, try removing reading glasses for short practice sets so your ciliary muscle actually moves. Support the internal environment. The exercises reactivate the hardware. For the retina and optic nerve, the software, certain evidence-backed nutrients can provide crucial support. Ingredients like astaxanthin, quercetin, and N-acetylcysteine, NAC, help antioxidant defenses, mitochondrial function, and glutathione production, the kind of biochemical support that allows cells to repair and perform. Because these nutrients are difficult to achieve in therapeutic amounts from food alone, many clinicians use a clinically dosed, pharmaceutical-grade vision formula to bridge that gap. If you want to read more about the research and recommended formulations, I've linked a resource in the description below. It outlines ingredient dosages, safety notes, and the evidence behind them. Track progress, not perfection. Keep a simple log, weekly notes on near comfort, how often you squint, reading speed, and overall eye fatigue. Photograph a small printed word at a set distance or note subjective comfort scores 1 to 10. Improvements are often gradual over 4 to 12 weeks. Small, steady wins are the goal. When to seek professional care. If you experience sudden loss of vision, new flashes of light, sudden onset double vision, or severe pain, stop exercises and seek urgent ophthalmic evaluation. If you have diagnosed retinal disease, recent eye surgery, or severe glaucoma, check with your eye doctor before starting any new exercise or supplement. Here's the core truth I want you to leave with. Vision is not an immutable sentence. The adult visual system is adaptable, muscles can regain range, neural circuits can become more efficient, and cellular resilience can be supported with targeted nutrition. This isn't a promise of perfection, but it is a promise of possibility, a chance to feel more confident, less dependent on squinting, and more comfortable in your day-to-day life. If you found this useful, click the like button. It tells YouTube to show this to other people who need it. I'll put the recommended reading and that formulation link in the description so you can explore the science further. If you want guided time sessions, let me know in the comments and I'll make follow-up guided practice videos. This video is educational and not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have sudden vision changes, severe pain, or concerns about eye disease, seek immediate care. Consult your physician before starting any new supplement, particularly if you take medications or have chronic health conditions.